Let's look into the film. In this video, we're looking at the tight end group and, of course, the personnel groupings, the 13, the 14, as well as some of the 11 personnel and the mentality. Now, I can tell you, man, Dalton Schultz, he's in his bag since Dak Prescott returned. He's the safety valve. He's the guy that Dak Prescott pretty much go to in a pinch, and he is the guy that can find a soft spot in the zone. You see him there just finding the soft spot, sinking in, looking back toward the ball, and we like seeing that, especially out of a tight end. His ability to find those soft areas, wonderful, and utilizing the one-on-one matchup. Now, this was brought to you by CeeDee Lamb. They roll coverage, so it shows that CeeDee Lamb is getting the respect, especially having the far safety on the left side of the field to warrant it. CeeDee Lamb's ability to climb and get upfield. Watch as he climbs. Dak Prescott look off, and he passes this out to Dalton Schultz. But you see, he carried 3. CeeDee Lamb got the man underneath and the guy over the top, and roll coverage. I love seeing that, especially out of your number 1 wide receiver. That's what your wide receiver brings to the table, the attention. You just got to make them pay when they do that. I like the one-on-ones to the outside, and CeeDee Lamb warranting 3 guys to cover him. That is everything. That's what I like to see, especially out of your number 1 wide receiver and your tight end, making them pay for that decision. I like that. That shows that this particular wide receiver grew, right? And they're trying to stop him. And shout out to Dalton Schultz for making them pay. High point the ball, just a tall target for Dak Prescott, and just good hands. And shifty guy, not a burner, but he will make you pay. And when we look at all of these things, just leaking out on the side over here and able to get to this edge here, brought to you by the impact of the run game. When you run the ball, it focus in on the defense, on how they do their alignments and assignments. And watch, they bit down on the play action. And Dak Prescott on the rollout here. Hey, this guy trying to stop Dak one-on-one there, and the linebacker and the safety is out in space, frozen. And this is just a nice touchdown. Shout out to Kellen Moore for drawing this up, and I like this. You keep the opposition on their heels, right? They're trying to crash down on the run, and we just do a simple bootleg on the edge there. So that is what we like to see, especially out of these particular packages. Now we talk about the tight ends, right? The groupings and how we are able to utilize and exploit that, right? And we have different variations of where the Cowboys like to do 12 personnel, and Dak Prescott casually roll out, looking for his target. This was just already a pre-read right here based upon the defense alignment. He got all of the linebackers so close to the LOS. He rolls, and of course, he got underneath guy here, and he have CeeDee Lamb open there. All right, so you got a clear. They already made their determinations to try to stop the run on the out over here. One-on-ones here, and boom. Take it and turn upfield, right? CeeDee Lamb probably would have been a better option at this time, but I'm just looking at the yardage here and just make them pay for underneath the confusion down underneath. Just throw it to your guys, make a play out of it. And I like seeing that out of Ferguson there. So great, unique job by this team utilizing their tight ends in this particular look. And of course, that's what we talking about, moving the chain. And then on top of that, let's take a look at this play. We are exhibiting another tight end group, and they just utilize in the middle of the field, being able to hit that hook area, freezing the linebackers, making sure the linebackers get that work action in. Fumble the snap, quick pass to the hook, and utilizing the middle of the field, the hook area. I love it, especially when they're in cover 2. You got to utilize the middle of the field, and Dak Prescott rolls out here, frozen. This was the linebacker's responsibility, and he just captured this guy frozen in space and taking advantages of this, taking advantages of Jalen Smith, right? He got frozen in space, you know. I love it, the motion. Quick underneath, he stopped his feet. You should never stop your feet on the defensive side. And of course, this is what happened. He leaks out underneath on a simple drag. He stops his feet. He's supposed to carry with him, He never did that, which is okay for us, right? Leave that man wide open. Open up the bank account. Hey, you gonna try to go low? I go high. Oh, you think I'm finesse? I'm gonna power you now. That's what I like to see. These type of plays, utilizing and understanding that you got tight ends that's athletic enough, and Jake Ferguson to hurdle over a guy to sneak out underneath. Dude got ups, man. Just pay attention to this man. He can jump so high. Look at this dude. And then he shows the power. I love it. I love it, Cowboy Nation. Now, this could be 23 personnel or 14 personnel when you pay attention to where McEwen comes out from. And this is 14 personnel once it manifests itself into that, right? You got the single back in the backfield. You got Hendershot with the ball, just walks right on in untouched, and they dive into the Salvation Army bucket. Thinking of that, this unique packages, the presenting power to finesse, man, it keeps the defense and the opposition on their heels. And that's what I like to see, Cowboy Nation, the ability to be creative in this space. Not another team in the National Football League is doing such, right? And this is showing power also. It doesn't work all the time when you line up all of your tight ends here, but to get the necessary yards, this is what the Cowboys were able to do on this particular play, is to showcase the power and try to finesse them with Zeke down inside. And I can tell you, man, if the Cowboys continue these type of packages, those short yardages will not be hard to get, because what you can do out of that in the future is present power to finesse, or you can finesse to present power. So that's what I like to see out of the 12 personnel, as well as when they go into the 13 personnel, and uniquely when they go into the 14 personnel, and being able to have your guys to be that hybrid that can line up in the backfield, like, dare I say, your tight ends got that ability, goes a long way with me. And when we look at this, Cowboy Nation, of course, Zeke could have creased still to the outside. You had your two tight ends blocking pretty well. He cut back inside, and that's where the traffic's at. Thibodeau is there at 97. If he just continue to crease this way, he got a blocker in front of him that will pick up 44. He's blocking on the outside. Who knows what would have happened off of this play, and Thibodeau would have been chasing him from behind. So there goes to show you, uniquely drawn up, right? No shade at Zeke. He cut back inside. Nevertheless, there was still laundry out there. So that's just how it goes. If he continue to stretch it on the outside where those blockers are at, then we see more and more yards. Now, speaking of that, pay attention to this. Watch how Zeke picked the right hole on this one to get about 10 yards off of this run. Just unique right here. Boom, boom. And you need this physicality. They're not physical enough to stop Ezekiel Elliott in this particular space. The safeties were not willing to go down and field. Even after the linebacker did his job, they were not about that business. All right, let's look back at this play right here. Big 13 personnel. And why this is possible? Why? Presenting power and utilizing the tendencies, because now they're thinking they can pass out of this, right? And no, the Cowboys going to run off of this. This guy's lackadaisy, and he's lackadaisy because they don't know whether or not these tight ends going to leak out to the edge. So they got to stand their ground. They can't come down and pursue and crash, right? They got to stand their ground because they got to play in pass defense responsibility, because Cowboys been finessing on the pass, right? Now we show the run, and he just guts him. Yo, that's Ezekiel Elliott, man. He brings the thunder, and he will do that, and he will bring the pain to this thing. So that's what I like to see, Cowboy Nation, that wall over there with those tight ends, 84 and 87 and even 89 at times. Man, this 13 personnel is unique, as well as sometimes when they exhibit the 14 personnel. I like what I'm seeing out of this team collectively, especially with these tight ends. And pay attention, the aficionados. Oh, he missed that hand to the face, facing. He missed that one, right? This dude right here, I know he see that, right? We can see that he can see that, and they never give us the call. Not saying that I'm begging for one, but that should have been hands to the face. That's what they should have called. Nevertheless, Cowboy Nation, now at times, I'm going to tell you guys, out of this look, Kellen Moore tends to, at the 30, get too freaky with it, and he need to will this one back. There was no need to do the trick play here, and we are showing power straight off of this previous run. We get down there, positive gain, just showed the physicality. That's what we want to see out of this team. And then he goes back to the finesse look, whereas you exhibiting power and then you give me the trick play. Killed all of the momentum off of this drive. I just wish that Kellen Moore would just get back to, hey, I'm going to present power. It may be bland, but I'm going to show you in time that this will work. I will weigh down the opposition. Nevertheless, he didn't do it. He just got back to the trick plays. Now, this is 11 personnel, 1 tight end. But, man, when you look at fullback Dak, shoot, let's look at this again. The block on the outside, that's what I'm talking about. Get there. Get 54 out the way. Yeah, let your running back get multiple yards. I love saying that out of Dak Prescott, his ability to block down the field. Baby, we got to love that. And then on top of that, this is just showing you the power that this team possessed with their tight ends. Once again, tight end featuring these type of things. Get in the way, fill the hole. There we go. Find a soft spot, exploit, plant your foot, get upfield. And that's what I like to see out of Ezekiel Elliott, the ability to continue to move forward. And shout out to Jalen Smith, man. Picking the wrong guy to pick a fight with, right? And that's okay. Rookie meets Jalen Smith, right? And he came down the field. Boom! I love seeing that out of a linebacker. Initially, this safety supposed to fill this spot immediately, but he waits patiently because he don't have that physicality in his blood, right? So he waits patiently, and my guy Tony Pollard is able to crease out to get multiple more yards. I love seeing this, but shout out to Jalen Smith on this play, though. Now, if he picked the right hole, then it would have been a whole nother situation for my guy Tony Pollard. But instead, he picked the biggest guy out the bunch, and that's what your linebacker's supposed to do. Come down the field, and your safety supposed to be right there for the force, and the safety just kind of sat back and waited to the running back pick his lane, which I'm not complaining about. I like that we were able to get multiple yards off of this. Shout out to my guy Tony Pollard. That shows that cat-like quickness is there. And this team, they continue to exhibit this power, use it, get this ball down the field, and they were able to move it enough for them to score off of this drive right here. So I like seeing the physicality, Cowboy Nation, with the jumbo set, or with the 14 personnel or 12 personnel out of this particular team. I see down the line, if they can continue to utilize those unique packages, it'll be hard for the opposing teams to match that up on a consistent basis because of personnel, right? Presenting power to finesse, and then at times finesse to present power. That goes a long way. When I say finesse to present power, meaning that you got your tight end in the backfield, right, as the fullback, right? And then when you present power, you line it up 13 personnel or 14 personnel. That got to change up on the defensive side. And teams sometimes don't have the reverse personnel to stop what you bring into the table. That's been my time. I really thank you all for yours. And remember, you're listening to nothing but the pass. Go Cowboys.